Welcome, welcome, welcome to another episode of Unhinged Christian. It's your girl, your hostess with the mostest, Asia Janae. Yes, we have production. We have lights. We have the light that Jesus made for us. That's what's that's what's you know the cornerstone of today's production. This is season 2, episode 10. Y'all made it. Y'all really did it. Y'all really did it. Y'all really stayed. I love y'all for that. Wow. How did we enjoy this season? Let's talk about it. Let's chat. Let's yap. Let's do it. Let's really, no, for real this time, because I know I'll be saying that. I say that to y'all, and y'all leave me for dead in the comments. I'm serious. I want feedback. I want to know. What's tea? Did y'all like this season or what? I loved it. I'm lying. I actually struggled this season so bad. Cause like life was lifing. And your girl was like, I'm not gonna give up on something I already started, I gotta finish. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to be the core of today's episode. Start and finish. Okay, this is a season finale of season 2. Like, y'all really did 2 whole seasons of this. I did 2 whole seasons of yapping about the Lord and his favor over my life and over everybody's life and how he can get in where you need him and even where you don't think you need him. And he can maneuver that thing. He's like, literally, we're playing goldfish and he's playing chess. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, start and finish. That's what this episode is about. Finish the things that you start, okay? And don't let anybody make you feel like you're not qualified. You're always qualified. If you have the gift of gab, which everybody does not, a lot of us don't, and that's okay. But you have a gift. All of us have gifts. So don't let anybody tell you like, oh, maybe you shouldn't do this, and maybe you should lean into this, or your mom was in the army, so maybe you should go in the army, and da 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 da. A lot of what you do is not going to make sense to other people. Leave it that way. Leave it that way. You are not too big to occupy the spaces that you're walking into. You're not too loud. You're not too black. You're not too feminine, too masculine. You're not too much of everything. You're actually just right. You're actually perfect. You're exactly who you are and what you need to be to, in this moment, to be who it is that you already are, to conquer the moment and expand and all of those beautiful things, because I'm a little nervous and running out of words. As y'all can see, y'all can see me. Yeah. Okay, sorry. That was yeah, and I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it in the video because that's real raw emotion. Like, finally, y'all can see the girl who's been talking and yapping and running her mouth to y'all for the last it's been almost a year now. The podcast is almost a year old, by the way. Love that. Um, yeah, so let's get into it. Let's get into it. Why are we not finishing things that we start? Huh? Why are we? Are we a bunch of losers? Are we dweebs? What are we doing? What are we doing? Why would God put this on your heart for you to not see it through? Why? And why are we stopping? Let's hear it. I want to hear the excuses because that's what they are. Oh, it's too hard. Oh, I've never seen anybody do it. Oh, I don't think I'm qualified. Oh, these people think I should do something else. And I've done this all my life. I don't know what else to do. I don't know who else to be. Da 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 da. First things first, detach your identity as a person from the things that you do. Okay? I can go and what can I actually do? Because I was spending a lot of y'all. But like scenarios, okay? Not really a lie. Like, I could go be a construction worker, but that doesn't take away my femininity as a woman. I'm still soft. I still love pink. I love to play with my hair and do different styles. I like to do my makeup. So what I do isn't who I am, right? Right. So if you have done something, I have a friend actually. If you listen to this, Emmanuel, yes, I'm going to talk about you a little bit. I have a friend, Manny, who all his life, all he's done is play football, right? Like, that's been his focus. That's been what his parents, his coaches, his mentors have molded him into. And now that he's an adult and life is lifing, he has to switch gears. And from the things that we've talked about, it's been a challenge because football has been a part of his identity because it's been ingrained in him, and like none of the other areas that he might have a desire for have ever been fueled, or they've never been given an opportunity to grow. So he has like this garden full of seeds that went unsown and unnurtured because nobody, all the focus, I won't say nobody because I wasn't there, I didn't raise him, you know what I mean? But like all the focus went into one thing, and that one thing ended up becoming who he was. And now he is struggling to separate, I'm not just a football player. Like, I'm a man. I'm a this. I'm a that. I like to do this. I like to do that. And a lot of us deal with that, like, back and forth, that tug, because we don't take the time out to cultivate ourselves as we're cultivating our craft. And it's like, how do you expect to further be inspired by things if you don't really have a true sense of identity? Like, if I didn't like going to the park, then I probably wouldn't have been inspired by a couple that I seen or some kids playing, and I probably wouldn't have had the space to have a download and be like, okay, God, this is what I'm supposed to talk about, or okay, God, this is where I'm supposed to be in this moment in order to receive you. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing. It's the same thing in life. Like, if you don't take the time to pour into and build and grow with yourself and with God, because we didn't get off of that, it's going to be so hard for you. It's going to feel like the most massive failure of your life to be separated and be detached and have to learn to identify with just who you are as a person and not the things that you've done, the things that you do, the occupation that you have, the titles that you hold. And that's where God is a necessity, because having God in your life is going to reaffirm and reassure you, like his knowledge and the wisdom that comes from just learning who he is and what he's capable of is going to reaffirm you on the things that you are capable of. And it's going to like move you in a way that you're gonna want to know what more you can do. Like, you're gonna want to explore yourself more. So it's kind of impossible to be leaning into God and growing your relationship with him and not have new things like pop up and tickle your fancy. You know what I'm saying? Or like even the things, like, they could be so little and mundane, but they play such a big part, and then nothing is coincidence, right? Because Big Sandals he's Big Sandals. He's orchestrating all this. So it's just kind of like, I went to the park and dang, I was inspired, and now I like going to the park because the park may be my secret place, you know, where I go to spend time with God. And he's now using that as a means of inspiration. But if I didn't discover that I like going to the park because I wanted to designate my secret place with God, he would not be able to use said secret place as a means of inspiration. Does that make sense? I feel like it makes sense, but it may not make sense to everybody, and that's okay. It makes sense to me. But what I'm saying is, like, we all need God. That's just the bee's knees. That's just it. We all need God, and it's just about creating a space for him to come in and work on our behalf, as opposed to like trying to, how can I put this? Try to make it seem like we don't need him and I can do everything by myself and da 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 da. Because that's not true. It's not true, girl. And that's why you're struggling. That's why it feels like organized crime is working against you, because you're trying to take everything into your own hands, and you can't do that. We gotta stress God. Because then trying to take everything into our own hands, obviously our hands are not big enough. We're going to drop things. And when dropping things, that becomes an invitation to the devil and evil and outside and the world and man to come in and manipulate our weaknesses and exploit our weak spots. So it's like, might as well give what I can to God to keep my hands free for him so that I can still continue to praise him and learn from him. And he takes the reins over the things that I can and cannot see. That way, it's kind of hard for anybody to take a light that they don't know you have. It's kind of hard for somebody to come in and be like, oh, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that, you shouldn't say this, you shouldn't say that, shouldn't wear this, shouldn't wear that. Like, you shouldn't do these things. But it's just kind of like, it's just like, no. If you don't know, then you don't know. Then you don't know. That didn't make no sense. But I promise you it made sense. So yes, don't let people try to make you feel small. Okay, your validation does not come from the world. It comes from God. And God's confirmation is literally giving you life every day. You have confirmation, every time that you wake up in the morning, it's confirmation. It's confirmation that Big Sandals wants you here. Because if he didn't, yeah, you wouldn't be awake. You wouldn't be waking up. I hate to put it that way, but that's the only way it can go. So that's all the validation and confirmation that you need. Doesn't matter that you didn't wake up in the 3-bedroom window, floor to ceiling window penthouse at the top of the city overlooking the skyline. Understand that God has you where you need to be. You are where you are supposed to be right now. And everything on the outside of God is going to work against you and work and try to convince you that you're not. Please do not let it. That's where you got to build up that spiritual toughness, that spiritual strength. Get in that word. Y'all be so busy burning out, scrolling on Instagram. And yes, I'm going to say it. The tick of the talk. Which, by the way, since we already here. I was one of those impatient people who deleted TikTok when they first banned it, so I don't have it on my phone no more. So now I can finally say, yes, you're wasting your life. I won't say wasting your life, but you are losing a lot of time that you could be pouring into God, scrolling and doing what? Keeping up with the times? Keeping up with what exactly? Like, what's more important to keep up with than God? I'm confused. This is the same God as soon as your life falling apart. Lord, please, if you give me this one chance, I won't. I promise you I'll get right now. Spend time with you. Da, 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 da. Like, what? You're creating avenues for the enemy to come in and exploit your weaknesses because you're not consistent with God. And you want consistency out of him. You want his consistent protection. You want to be protected all the time. You want to be guarded. You want to be covered in the blood. You want to be loved. You want mercy at all times, not just Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So why are you trying to really allocate how you're going to show up for God? Like, how does that work? You know what I'm saying? So to pull it all together, it's just kind of like, hold on, I lost it. So pull it all together. People can only come in and make you feel small if you leave that door open. How do we leave the door open, Asia? You don't have a consistent standing or relationship, intentional. I won't even say consistent, an intentional and consistent relationship with God. And then you're expecting. You're leaving the door open. You want your assets protected? You want to be protected? Do you come home and leave the door wide open? Do you come home and not lock the door? Do you leave your car door unlocked? No. So the same way that you want your things to remain safe and protected is the same way you have to protect yourself and your relationship with God. It's the same thing. If you protect yourself from it by being in your word, by learning about him, by learning about his wisdom, his mercy, his grace, and all of those things, his faithfulness, all of that, if you protect yourself with that, then you'll be equipped to navigate when you are attacked. Because it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. It's a matter of, dang, I know they're coming, so I need to be ready. So be ready. What the heck? I'm not going to this episode's not going to be that long because it's the season finale. And if you're new here, I have 2 whole seasons you can catch up on to get to know me and get well acquainted and get comfortable and get cozy. Because this is not the last you'll see of me. This is the last episode of season 2. But this is not the last time I'm going to be talking to you. Okay? So Yeah, love y'all, mean it. Let me pray us out real quick. Lord, thank you for coming to me today. Thank you for coming to everybody. Thank you for covering us. It is a Wednesday. I know that people struggle with Wednesdays. So thank you for just your faithfulness. Thank you for your mercy. Thank you for covering us in your love, our loved ones in your love, the people who don't know you in your love. Thank you for just showing up and showing out as you always do. Thank you for trusting me with the responsibility to speak to a multitude of people in a way that I feel is relatable to me as well as to the audience. I love you. I'm grateful for you, and thank you for the endless, endless, endless opportunities. In your name, I pray. Amen. So that's all, chat. Chat. Sorry, just kidding. Um, yeah, that's all I got. I love y'all. Now that y'all see, you are the visual, honey. Seriously, I finally got the visuals. So prepare to be sick of me. Okay. Love y'all. Bye.